Normally we'd get right into the sneaker review, but today I wanted to start this video off with something that's been on my heart, and I'm sure for a lot of you as well. Black Lives Matter, and I say that in full support and advocacy for much needed change. We cannot lose any more Black lives to anti-Black racism. Policies and legislation must change, and we need all hands on deck. But more importantly, I firmly believe racism is an issue of the heart, and we really need to look inward and reconcile that we can no longer let the color of our skin become a reason for hatred and inequality. As a minority myself that's faced racial discrimination and hate based on the color of my skin, the issue of race is something I've spoken about in the past on other platforms like Instagram and my podcast, and sharing my own personal accounts and experiences, as well as speaking to anti-Black racism and witnessing my friends that are Black targeted with hateful rhetoric and actions. And in saying that, I recognize that I'll never know what it's like to walk in the shoes of my Black brothers and sisters. But if you're hurting right now, I want you to know that I hear you and that I'm with you. And my personal belief is that we are all children of God, wonderfully made and created with purpose. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and so many others. May they rest in peace. They were all wonderfully made and created in the image of God. And as brothers and sisters, we grieve with you and we love you. And, I saw this on Instagram from someone on the front lines holding a sign during a protest that said, in reference to Black Lives Matter, matter is the minimum. Black lives are worthy. Black lives are beloved. Black lives are needed. And I just thought that was one of many powerful messages and signs that we need to hear and see, especially at this time. I respectfully chose not to post a video this week because I didn't have a heart to talk about sneakers, and sneakers are sneakers, and there are more important and significant things in the world than sneakers, and I think we all know that. But the actual review portion of this video was filmed over a week ago, and that was just as we began to learn the news of George Floyd and the video that was circulating, and it was heartbreaking, it was maddening. And I personally didn't feel right sharing sneakers and posting this review at that time. This channel is about community, and I know full well that many of you were hurting. And so I wanted to speak to everything going on, and I chose to do that over on Instagram and our podcast with my wife. And I'm choosing to speak about it here as part of this video because I personally want more eyes on this messaging. And I chose to do it as part of this sneaker review because it ties in with a leader that has been clear in his stance about this. If you know LeBron James, then you know about his philanthropy, you know about his activism, and specifically around Black Lives Matter. We've also seen companies within the sneaker industry begin or continue to do their part as well in getting involved through support of related causes and by way of donations as well. I've been personally inspired by Black culture for as long as I can remember, be it through my own friends or through music and film, like so many of us are, and for some without even knowing it, and particularly relating to what we talk about on this channel, which is sneakers and basketball. Sneaker culture isn't what it is, and the NBA isn't the NBA without Black influence and Black people. Plain and simple. We're starting to see people opening their eyes and ears to a message that has fallen on deaf ears for so long. And I sit here encouraged and with the hopes of encouraging all of you that I'm so grateful for having a part of this community here on this channel to keep the conversation going. Our Black brothers and sisters need our voices, and they need our support as well in actionable ways so that we can see actual change that is long lasting with regards to policy and legislation that is currently in place, and we can continue to see hearts shift and understand that systematic racism that our Black community and family has been subject to for over 400 years is just far too long. And those actionable steps can be any number of the following, and you don't have to do them all. Number one is prayer. maybe getting involved in charitable ways, as well as, like the GoFundMe pages for George Floyd's daughter. You can sign petitions or donate to bail funds, donate to the NCAAP Legal Defense and Educational Fund, donate to families, organizations, communities directly affected or in your own home state or city. Consider potentially volunteering in ways to help. Continue to learn and read, having these conversations with our family, starting this in our home, listening to our kids, talking to our kids, because those kids will be the next generation that continues to carry this conversation forward. Every bit matters, and you don't have to do it all, like I said, all of the above. And don't let anybody pressure you or bully you into doing them all. We have our own giftings and our own resources, and we can use our voices and actions differently, and that's okay. That's what makes us all special, and that's what makes us needed, because we all have different giftings and resources. So do as much as you can, but do something. So I'll just encourage you and end this portion of the video on this. If you can't find the right words right now, that just isn't an excuse anymore. Find the right actions, and find the right actions for that change. No lives matter until Black lives matter. And I thank you so much for giving me this airtime and tuning into this video. I truly am so grateful for all of you and this community that we have here on this channel. I'm constantly encouraged by you guys, and I'm always here to talk more in the comment section below, or even through DMs on Instagram. So with that said, we are going to pivot into the sneaker review that I filmed last week. And like I said, I so thank you for giving me your time and hearing this message. Coming in a black and gray throwback box featuring all over images of LeBron James and odes to his upbringing and roots like Akron, Ohio, St. Vincent St. Mary High School, and community basketball courts and signs. We see a Nike swoosh and a LeBron James branded signature on the side of the box. And as we slide the box open, and resting inside white tissue paper, we've got the Nike LeBron 7 Media Day with no other dressings inside the box. Originally released in 2009, the Nike LeBron 7 really brought a new and fresh concept to the LeBron lineup, and really at the time it changed the sneaker game overall, and here are two reasons why. Previously, LeBrons were built on Zoom Air cushioning, and this was the first sneaker that featured a full-length 360-degree visible Air Max unit. And so why was this important? Well, it made Air Max relevant for the first time in over a decade on Nike basketball performance sneakers, and really brought Air Max to the forefront again for the brand as a whole for Nike sneakers. And the second reason is when it comes to the uppers, where previous models were a bit more bulky and heavier in material, the LeBron 7 shed some serious weight in bringing the first sneaker in the lineup featuring first gen flywire. And a fun fact is that the flywire on the uppers contains exactly 23 wires representing LeBron's number with the Cleveland Cavaliers at the time, and now the Los Angeles Lakers. And so these changes were made when Nike basketball designer Jason Petrie took over the reins of the LeBron lineup. And like I said, looking back, the LeBron 7 is probably my favorite silhouette to date, and it probably is because it's more of a lifestyle sneaker I can rock as well as a great performance basketball sneaker, whereas more LeBrons, at least more recently, have been more performance based and really do look like basketball sneakers. And so that brings us to these bad boys right here, which are the Nike LeBron 7 Media Days, and these became instantly coveted when LeBron James showed up to Media Day rocking this exact same colorway, and when Nike announced that they would be releasing these to the public. And so these perfectly complemented his Los Angeles Lakers uniform, given this is a very Lakers colorway, coming in a colorway described as Amarillo yellow and court purple, but we'll just call them gold and purple like the Lakers colors are. And as a diehard Raptors fan, I can confidently say with comfort that I've always had a soft spot for the Los Angeles Lakers, and I think that has a lot to do with Kobe Bryant, and now the fact that LeBron James does play for the Los Angeles Lakers, and LeBron James is my favorite basketball player currently playing. But now that we've touched on a little history behind the LeBron 7, let's get into the in-depth review of this sneaker, because there are some really great details on this sneaker that I absolutely love, starting from the front to the back and from the top to the bottom. Starting at the toe box, we've got some quality white leather that appears ever so slightly textured closer to the eye, kind of like a tumbled leather, but otherwise smooth on touch on both feet of the sneaker. Moving into the lacing system, we've got Lebron branding on the left foot and James on the right, and we've got these flat purple laces on the left foot and some flat gold laces on the right that are weaving through 8 eyelets. And then on the very top of the eyelets, we have this Roman numeral V-shaped lace hook in purple and gold respectively, and the V stands for 5, and then within the circle you'll see the II that amounts to the Roman numeral VII, which is 7, to commemorate that this is the 7th LeBron. And it's details like that that I absolutely love on the LeBron 7. And then we've got these really nice lace tips in opposite colors on each respective foot with the L7J branding printed in white. Behind the laces, we've got a neoprene shoe tongue, and moving to the top of the tongue, we have some more flywire pattern print with the LeBron James branding in the way of this cursive signature. You'll also notice a synthetic leather trim around the top of the tongue and is rounded out with some neoprene stitching. Sliding over to the midfoot on the lateral sides, you'll notice that the left foot is dominantly amarillo yellow and that the right foot is all court purple. And we see the flywire that is visibly more transparent on the amarillo as it is a lighter shade, and you can see through it and into the neoprene behind the flywire. We've also got a matching colored synthetic trimming from the eyelets rounding and underlaying this wavy white leather paneling that continues from the toe box and along the whole sneaker from the lateral to the medial side. And then smack dab in the middle, we've got this standout white Nike swoosh with opposite colored trimmings around the swoosh on each foot. Following the swoosh to the ankle, we have some lightly padded neoprene, and then on the ankle we've got LJ23 branding in the form of a plastic button, which is a detail I personally love. On the heel of the sneaker, we have the initials L on the left foot and J on the right foot debossed, and moving to the medial side, it's different from the lateral in that we have a smaller white Nike swoosh with no trimmings around it, and then on the heel we have a larger glossy LJ23 branding. Moving inside the sneaker, we've got a neoprene back tab, an inner sock liner, and then court purple and amarillo insoles on each respective foot with LJ branding on the heel. Moving to the midsole, we've got some white Phylon, and to me, what makes this sneaker so iconic, a full-length 360-degree visible air unit cushioning system that has this speckled paint throughout. And then moving to the bottom of the sneaker, we've got a herringbone patterned rubber outsole in court purple and amarillo, and then one of my favorite parts of the sneaker, this circular holographic coin in the middle of the foot. And the really cool part is, depending on how light hits it and whether you turn it towards you or away from you, you will notice Nike swoosh branding, the LeBron James branding, and an all-over print where words like passion, fearless, tradition, community, loyalty, man, just messaging that we all need and I absolutely love. But that just about wraps up the in-depth review of the materials on the sneaker, and man, there are so many details on this sneaker that I probably missed a couple, but now is my favorite part where I finally get to throw these on feet, style them, and give you guys a closer look. When it comes to sizing, these sneakers are advised to fit true to size, and I'd agree. I picked up a size 9.5 US, which is my standard size, and these fit comfortably on my feet. Released on May 16, 2020, this was a pair that retailed for $200 USD, and for us here in Canada, 260 Canadian, and I personally picked up my pair from Foot Locker Canada, and this pair was immediately sold out within the first hour, as I imagine would be the case for other worldwide retailers. So this was a very highly coveted sneaker, and now is only available for sale on the resale market. So if you did miss out, I'll leave a direct link in the description box below for you to check these sneakers out and potentially pick up a pair for yourself. But now is a part of the video where I make my case for whether you should shoot, hold, or pass on your shot at these sneakers, with shoot being picking these sneakers up at their current retail price, hold being potentially waiting for these sneakers to go on sale or for another opportunity to pick these sneakers up, and pass being that these sneakers might not be for me or for you, but for somebody else. else. And when it comes to the Nike LeBron 7 Media Day, if you are a Lakers fan, a LeBron James fan, or a LeBron 7 collector, I say you shoot your shot. If you are a Los Angeles Lakers fan, then need I say more? These are a automatic game day sneaker, and if you are a LeBron James fan, this is a perfect sneaker to pick up to add to your collection. And if, and I say if, the Los Angeles Lakers do win the chip this year, when the season does resume, I'd imagine these sneakers are going to be highly sought after. But most importantly, this is a well executed colorway. And me personally, I am a fan of different colors on each foot, whether that is laces or just the uppers in general, and I think they executed really well with the court purple and the amarillo. And from an overall lifestyle perspective, I feel like the Nike LeBron 7 really achieved the best of both worlds, being a great lifestyle sneaker as well as a great performance basketball sneaker. They kind of have a shape of a boot, and really the details on this sneaker are really what made me fall in love with the silhouette, of course, as well as the shape. And for those curious about historical achievements earned by LeBron James while wearing the LeBron 7, no, he did not win a championship in these during the 2009-2010 season. However, he had an incredible year, averaging 29.7 points per game. He was also awarded his second MVP award from the league, and it was clear at the time that LeBron James was a dominant player in the league and on his road to greatness in becoming one of the greatest of all time. And so for me, with all those things considered, and from a business perspective, why I feel like these were a successful release for Nike is that these were driven by consumer interest, and Nike gave us exactly what we wanted. We wanted those media days, and Nike gave us to them. And I say that because other LeBron 7 colorways that have retroed more recently, like the Fairfax PEs, the China Moons, or even the All-Stars, have eventually sat on shelves, and that might have to do with marketing and promo behind those sneakers, or the fact that Nike hoped that what worked for them then and was really highly sought after then would work now, and maybe that just wasn't the case, or the fact that we are onto the LeBron 17, which is the current model, and it is being marketed in a variety of colorways as well. And so the LeBron 7s that have retroed recently might have just been lost in the shuffle, but I feel like what made these really successful, the media day, like I said, was because there is a connecting point that is current. These are a Lakers colorway, which Lakers fans should be so thrilled about, and they really did give us what we wanted. They listened to consumer interest. But selfishly, if there are 3 OG colorways of the LeBron 7 that I would love to see retroed, I'd love to see the OG and the Hero Pack, because both of those are so reminiscent of the Jordan 11 Breads. And the third colorway is the all black everything LeBron 7, and that is because those were inspired by Jay-Z. I'm a big fan of Jay-Z, and I love an all black sneaker. But to wrap this up, I'd encourage and hope that Nike does go in the direction of new colorways for the LeBron 7 to really freshen things up, maybe even do a collab on the LeBron 7 with an artist, and we've seen that with other sneakers and with the Jordan brand. But when the day does come that LeBron James does retire, and I hope that's a long time from now, I could definitely see the LeBron 7 silhouette being one of the more highly anticipated retro sneakers from his lineup. But now I'd love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on the LeBron 7 media days, and is the LeBron 7 your favorite silhouette as well among the LeBron lineup? And what would you do to freshen things up with the LeBron lineup? Would you bring in somebody like an artist to do a collab? What would you guys like to see with the LeBron 7s next? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'd love to connect with you guys there. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video, and if you really liked it, I hope that you will subscribe and join the community here on this channel, because we've got a lot more sneaker videos that are on the way. But that's all for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, for your time and support of this channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.